Hey, welcome, all my right thinkers. Thanks for tuning in to check out your boy, P Farm, thinking right out here in the lab. I'm in the book. We about to wrap it up. I'm in chapter 15, but this is all about transformation. This is all about getting from one level to the next level. This is going to be fun. Now I'm teaching. Let's rock. Rightisms, 25 rule to live by. Storytelling, story with a message. There's a message in my stories for life. I give you life lessons. You tune in to receive them. I appreciate you. We got a good thing going. Let's do what we do. Right thinking mission is to enlighten, inspire, educate, and motivate you, the individual, to a higher spiritual level of enlightenment. Right thinking way of life through mental, spiritual discipline, practice daily will help and guide you to attain your goal of reaching spiritual enlightenment, aka know thyself, transformation. My mission is that all right thinkers know thyself. And if you're a right thinker, your goal is to know thyself. See where we're going with this? Let's get there together. So I ask the question, do you know you? It's rhetorical. But if you don't have an answer for yourself, tune in. I got you. A person who knows not and knows not that they know not is foolish. Disregard them. A person who knows not and knows that they know not is simple, but you can teach them. That's why I do what I do for you. Appreciate you too. Stay tuned. I got more for you. A person who knows not and believe and think that they know is dangerous. Avoid them. I do. A person who knows and knows not that they know, is spiritually asleep. I can awaken them. I'm the spiritual alarm clock here to wake you up with knowledge of self. That's what I do for you. A person who knows and knows that they know is wise. Follow them. All these persons reside in you. Right thinkers, know thyself and two. Mayat be true. Let's talk about my favorite. We're going to get to know the supreme good, aka the three keys to master on your spiritual path to knowing thyself. What the three keys are? You ready? All right, let's go. Right thinkers. It's a phrase that we have calling unveiling asset. It's unveiling of your true self. That's your intuitive nature that's inside you that you got to bring out. One must go beyond your mortal waking consciousness to discover, aka what we call unveiling one's true nature, which is God, intuitive nature, intuitive knowledge within oneself. And it's a process that you can go to make that happen for the transformation. That's what we're in. We're in the transformation phase. I'm taking you from ignorance of yourself to knowledge of your true self. That's I said, okay? And it means to listen, reflect, and meditate. Sound familiar? Those are the rules that govern learning, gaining intellect, okay? Knowledge. The first thing we tell you, and these may be further clarified as follows. Let's start with one. Awakening of your spiritual self. What does that mean? That means becoming conscious of the divine presence where? Within yourself. You have to awaken that consciousness for yourself to know God for yourself where? Inside yourself. They got now purgation of the self. That means purification of the mind. Study, work the mind, body workout, physical working out, through spiritual discipline, meditation daily. These are the things that you as the aspirant try to what? Totally surrender your personal identity. What's that? It's called, my man Carl Jung said, your id, the identification. We know it in ancient Egyptians, we called it the ego self. The identification self, who you think I, me, but you don't know that you are one with God. So the ego edges God out. That's what the ego means. Edge God out. So you would know the ego is not good. Why? God ain't there. Okay? He's a servant. He's not a good leader. And when you put him in control, you will never get to where you want to go. That's why everybody wants you to what? Conquer the ego self. Why? The ego self have to give in to what? The divine self, which is the universal bond of all. Union with the divine self, that's called what we call the divine marriage. When the heart and the mind become one, they married. You are what? The owner of what? Yourself. Now you know who you are and what you are as one with your higher self, spirit, and consciousness. When man reaches that level, that's taking matter back to spirit, and you can ascend. Once the matter leaves the body, once the body dies, the spirit can go home. Why? It's enlightened. It's wakened to who it really is. It knows itself. That's the only way to get home. Watch this. Now, the illumination of one's mind with intellect. That means knowledge. That means study. And then you have what? Your own personal experience. And you can appreciate what? The divine presence during your reflection and meditation time. I talk to God every day. Me and my pastor talk, and he talk to God every day. Anybody who's in contact with their higher self, you can call it God, whatever, those people communing with their higher self do meditation. Why? That's how you talk to your higher self. How are you going to talk to it? So I get it, I understand it, and he called it download. The Lord got to download the information to me. We do prayer line tomorrow. I said, you ready for tomorrow yet? He said, no. I said, my trestle board is empty right now. He said, mine too, brother. Right. We both got up to bed 4 o'clock in the morning for some reason. Again, communion with your higher self. When you realize that, you would freak out, oh, God talking to me, I'm talking to God, and nonsense. No, you do things that you know it would appease him and please him, and he will do things that you know that you need to be done for you. We call them blessings. You can earn them on a daily basis, trust me. And when you illuminate, practice what you're learning, and put it into effect, you will be the beneficiary. When your mind is under control through wisdom, and daily practice of the philosophy, what happens? Now you're thinking right, and thinking right is understanding, reasoning, willing, call not these so, but they are its actions. These is qualities that you could implement, but they are not its essence. You do things to let God see the good deeds, and he'll bless you for those things. Why would you pray to a God that you ain't serving or worshiping or showing devotion? Come on now. So some things don't make sense. So again, I'm just trying to give you understanding. It's all mental. And when you understand it, you can practice it and become proficient at it and master it for yourself. Daily study, what? Of patience. Learn how to detach and use your dispassion. These are the keys that opens the way to control of one's mind and your ego consciousness. Those are qualities that put the ego down, okay? It don't raise the ego up, it puts it down. We don't need you when we're doing things that's right. We're going to call you when we need you, okay? The ego is a servant of yours. And the teachings is not the salvation. No. What you do with the teachings is what determines your salvation. I can talk and teach and preach to you till I get blue in the face. If you don't take it, implement it, use it, it means nothing. I use it, so I have a problem. Moving on. Salvation, it determines your salvation or your bondage. Your temple, your body can be a temple or it can be a prison. Your choice. If you choose to stay ignorant, you're going to be bound to the physical things of earth, pleasures of the flesh. This is your prison. If you want better for yourself, you want to free yourself from the earthly nonsense, get conscious, do good things, open yourself up to what? For the blessings that come before you. Because if you're bound, that means you're going to recycle. That's called birth and death. And beyond the teaching lies salvation if you put the work into what? Escape death. It cannot be gained. What's this? Salvation cannot be gained through thought alone. That is, it cannot be achieved by thinking only. It must be known. It must be experienced, aka to gain intuition of knowledge, then you have to have the wisdom of something. You have to know it. Thinking it, reading it, hearing about it, don't do it yourself. Okay? Next one. Hey, my favorite. Know thyself. When I first heard my lecture from Dr. Ben, he says a word called Sun and Bunum, called the supreme good. Okay? That's what this says. Know thyself, quotation mark, the supreme good. I've been trying to get you to do that for the last 10 years. I'm not going to stop. Why? Our ancients started 5,000 years ago. They didn't stop. I'm not either. I just pick it up and now I'm taking it. Moving on. Let's go. And this is what I can guarantee you can know yourself. I know the ingredients. I got the ingredients. Watch this. Blueprint. The purpose, again, for all human life is to achieve a state what we call consciousness. God is spirit and consciousness. He gave us life, that spirit. We become conscious by what? Study, learning, and implementing. We become conscious. And that's apart from your bodily concerns. It ain't physical, it's spiritual and mental. Spirit and mind, heart-mind coherence. Man is to become God-like. Not God. God-like is spirit and in consciousness. That's what God is right there. And when man in the flesh get that consciousness and understanding, then when the physical body is over, he go back to the maker with that conscious understanding. What? He know himself or thyself. All right? And through a life, watch this, in the physical form of righteousness and virtue and the cultivation of the spirit through scientific study, practice, gaining knowledge through experience, implementing it by daily practice and bodily discipline. I'm in the gym every day. I don't do the yoga thing. I do the gym, go get my workout, get my body, keep it just toned where I need it to be in motion. The body in motion stays in motion. I got 5-6 years of my body in motion, health been good, chakras working fine, kundalini on the rise. All that stuff I practice so I can tell you about it. What? I know it. I live it. I ain't just reading it in the damn book. Implementing what you learn gives you knowledge, wisdom. Why? From experience. Again, where we at down here? Salvation is the freeing of one's soul from the bodily fetters. You're waking up spiritually, you're becoming conscious, and you're no longer ignorant of who you are. So you start to do what? The right thing. Again, living right. And becoming a God through what? Knowledge and wisdom. You can't become God on belief. Controlling one's forces of the cosmos instead of being a slave to them. Nature, roll with nature, understand nature, fall in line. The Tao, that means to go with the flow. No fighting, no struggle, just go with the flow. Okay? Salmon swim upstream. Smart fish swim downstream. Why? They ain't got to swim, they just let it flow. Okay? The Nile, when it flowed up, because it blowed north to south, it blowed upwind. You can go to the south with no sails. Okay, it's going to push you. That's what the wind, you put the sail up, it just take you right on out the way. You ain't got to row. All right? That's going with the flow. Understanding nature and going with it. That's what they tell you. And with knowledge, you can know God. And you can live what? Righteous and virtuous. Why? With knowledge that you're going to be blessed for doing those things. That's my philosophy. And when you subdue your lower nature, meaning you're stopping all that nonsense, okay, carousing, all that nonsense. You're living for some other than physical pleasures, okay? Pleasures of the flesh and monetary things. That's lower nature. When you subdue your lower nature through what? The awakening, your spiritual awakening, and realize those things are no longer necessary and you outgrow them, awakening to your higher self. You becoming conscious of you being what? One with God. And when you do that, knowing thyself, waking up, spiritual enlightenment, anointment, Christhood, hearthood, whatever you do, when you do it, what you're doing? You're ending the cycle of rebirth and reincarnation. You're not coming back. Why? You're going home. So one-way ticket now. Your ticket been punched because the way you live here on earth got your consciousness, woke up, became awakened to who you are, and now you'll go and be dwelling with the netters, okay, for eternity, who are still directing and controlling the great planes, aka nature. God is always present. God is always at work. We had to become one with him through our consciousness while here on earth. I'm giving you the blueprint. I got my ticket punched. I know a few people who do, so it's up to you. Make your life, make your life the subject of intense inquiry, study. I need to know about me as best I can. And once I start studying that, my zodiac, they know me. They know me better than I know me. So I need to check out what they know about me. And I've been doing that. So I put the lesson out. Yeah, you need to know your zodiac. What? They tell you about you. And with me, they know. In this way, when you do that, this is the way you yourself will discover your goal, direction, and your eternal destiny. Your spirit is of God. Giving it back is doing your job. Life is God's gift to us. What we do with it is our gift to him. Purify your spirit and send it back. What? Cleanse and purify. That's immortality. I'm going to give you another lesson about that in 1 minute. Now, your destiny is to get back home to your Father. To free the spirit means in controlling your senses. That's the 5 parts of the body, the physical part, your ego consciousness. The reward will be clear insight. Knowing thyself is the clearest insight you can have. Knowing who you are, don't get no clearer than that. Now, let's talk about the way to immortality. How you know? Yeah, there's the way. Everybody got different concepts, but there's the way. Why? That's what they tell you about it. Call it afterlife. Let's talk. This is from the ancient scriptures. To know God is to strive to grow in stature. What? Beyond all measure, being your best self. Muhammad Ali said it best. I found the greatest love of all ways inside of me. It wasn't religious. It wasn't Islam. No, it was a truth, a fact, okay, experience. When you conceive that there is nothing beyond thy. Who is thy? Do you know? God. In case you didn't. If you did, okay. Thy, Thy. Thy capability. Know thyself to be what? Deathless. He didn't know that. He was scared to die. Okay? And you be able to know what? All things. If you and God are one, if God is all knowing, if you become him, you become all knowing. But in the physical form and conscious individual, y'all all knowing is what? Knowing all about you. Make it real easy. You ain't got to know about everything. No, it's everything about you. Okay? It's symbolical. And you know all arts. You know all sciences. I know all these things. Okay? I don't. Trust me. And the way of what? Every life. I study religions. I study history. So I know a whole lot of stuff that we've been doing and how I've been doing. And it ain't changed a bit. Okay? Become what? Higher than the highest height. And you can become lower than the lowest depths. I can soar the falcon, my wings. I can ascend. And I can also, I'm the mountain goat. I can go underwater. I got fins, okay? I can go deep. When my man George took us down to Atlantis, you could dance underwater and not get wet, okay? I've been there too. Symbolically and metaphorically, it's a beautiful concept. Why? It's teaching you about life. I love that, George. I got you. Funk saved my life. A mass, what's this? A mass in thyself. All senses of animals, fire, water, dryness, and moistness. Dry and moist air, tough nut and shoe. Think of thyself when? In all places. When? At all the same time. Earth, sea, sky, not yet born. In the womb, young, old, dead, and in the afterlife state. Knowing all things, understanding how this life works and what it's all about will take you to what? Your Father, and leads that way to immortality. That's the connection to immortality, connecting back to the spirit, the original spirit. Our spirits are on loan. He wants it back. Okay? Indeed, they who are yonder, that means those who live righteous, right thinkers, that's us. We will join God when? After death of the physical body. Why? Why will we join God? We living right, we doing right, we making our heart light as Mayat's feather for judgment day. And when we pass judgment, that's when we join God. That's the concept. That's our right thinking of Mayat philosophy. And you will what? Join God after death. Now, you will be living gods, punishing anyone who commits a sin. The punishment for sin is death. Did you know that? If you miss the mark, you die. Indeed, now they who are yonder will what? Stand in the boat. The bark that rocks in the daytime and at night. You got two different boats. I didn't give you that lesson, but I love that. The man jet and the set jet. All right, two different boats. One boat in the daytime is just him, Mayat, and Tahuti. At night, when he going down to the doorway, he called all hands on deck. He called Set, he called Haru, he called everybody. If he hear any noise, it's just me and the boys. I got that from George too. I just tied them two together. That's my concept. And when they're on his boat, the bark of rock, all right, when causing the choices, okay, offerings in it to be given to the temples. When I go to church, I bring donations to the temple, okay, to give for light, electricity. I know that ain't always going to God. God, no, it's nonsense. Come on, man. But you always bring, if you're going to get something, you should bring something. That's all. Not just your empty pockets. But indeed, he who is yonder will now become a sage. That's what I've done. Who will not be hindered from, you ready, appearing to God whenever they speak. I speak my kadu, from the heart, the truth. If you seek God, I'm your man, you seek for the what? The beautiful. One is the path that leads what? Unto God, but daily devotion joined with what? Gnosis. What is gnosis? Experience. Okay? When you do right and you get blessed, do you still believe there's a God or you know there's a God? When you do this and get that, your devotion and worship leads to what? Blessings. Good deeds, selfless service, you in return will be blessed. That's the concept. And for all the ill of ignorance, thou pour over all the earth, and we are full of that ignorance. It's just running rampant. I'm trying to get understanding about that one. And it's overwhelming to the soul that what? That's battened down within the body, preventing it from finding salvation. Ignorance is the key that keeps you from opening the door of salvation for oneself. That's the ego, okay? God sheds light on who? They who shake the clouds of error from their soul. You're betting yourself. If you do something that ain't working, stop doing it. And the sight of what? The brilliance of truth, mingling themselves with all the senses, mingling with all the senses of the what? The divine intelligence. It don't say divine belief, intelligence, gnosis. Those are experience concepts you have to know for yourself because you can't make that happen for yourself. And through love, of which they win their freedom from what? From that part of which death rules, ignorance, mortality. If you don't know you're immortal, if you believe you're mortal, you're thinking you're going to die and you have fear of death. That's ignorance, again, of what? Your higher self. I know death will take the body. Death don't take me, though. Do you know that? Again, and has what? The seed of the assurance of future deathlessness implanted in him. Knowledge of self. This, then, is what? How the good will differ from the bad. We know We real recognize real. On the street, that man, we all know the street. But in the spiritual realm, the real still recognize the real. I told you about my spiritual love I get from my church family. Christian, good people, practicing Christian faith. Simple. Moving on. I'm about to wrap it up. I see the clock. I'm almost home. I'm almost there. Yeah, I'm almost there. I got you. Let's wrap it up. Let's go. I got you. Hope you're getting this one. This is my thing. Who has eaten of the knowledge? That's the God that you study. That's the lesson I gave you. You eat the knowledge of every God. Their existence is for all eternity and is everlasting in what? Your spirit body. It's eternal. What they willeth, they doeth. Whatever you can see, I can do all things through what? Spiritual knowledge in Christ that strengthens me. Whatever you want to, how you want to do it, but that gives you strength. With knowledge gives you strength. Okay? And it's all done within. I'm about to wrap. I ain't got time for that right now. Okay. And it says right here, if then thou learn, right there, that thou art thyself of life and light, and that thou only happen to be out of them. God ain't out there. Thou shalt return again, what? To life? The afterlife. When this life is over, when the spirit is judged, when it passes, it goes what? On to the afterlife for eternity. That's how you get to immortality. Wrapping it up. Now, unless thou first shalt hate thy body, thou canst not leave thyself. Why? But if thou love thyself, if you love the body, you're going to still want to be physically and one stuff, so your desires are still hanging around. But if you love thyself, thou shalt have intellect, knowledge of self, okay? And having intellect, thou shalt share in what? The gnosis. Gnosis will lead to what? Love, and love leads to salvation of one's soul. The union of the word and the mind produces that mystery which is called life. Learn deeply of what? One's mind and its mystery, for therein lies the secret of immortality. It's all mental. It's all mental. Wrapping it up. Anything built, listen, by humanity for its glorification will eventually fall. Temples, pyramids still standing, but the concept is why anything physical won't last. Only that which is built according to the great law of the cosmos will transcend time and space. A soul which from the body free, it has fought the fight of piety to what? Know God for yourself and to do wrong to no one. Such a soul now becomes what? Entirely pure. Purify your soul by living right, doing right. And what happens? Whereas the impious soul remains as is, a slave to its what? Passions, is chastised through what? Death, and but what? Its own self. And what? Will reincarnate into what? Another body. But the soul don't go home if it's unenlightened. That's the concept. That's my lesson. Hope you got it. No, it took a little long, but I got more. I'm not done. But in closing, right thing, it's me, y'all live to be 100. Me 100 miles a day. So I know that my right thinkers have passed away. Man, I'm just having fun. I got more stuff for you. I'll be right back. Yeah, I got Bruce's chuckling.